Well, hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Intentional Life podcast. And here we are. We're in a new space. We moved. I'm AJ Selby. This is my wife,
Amy Selby.
And we moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. Big surprise and change up there. We just had an episode a couple episodes ago where we talked about the move to Nashville, what it's like to move away from family. And we have actually now moved back to be close to family. Mm-hmm. We'll go into a little more of that here, but just wanted to shout out Chris here and Mad Toy Box where we are right now. We needed another studio space as we are getting caught up. We had recorded 12 episodes over 2 different recordings last time, which is what you've all been seeing.
At Enter Square, yeah.
Yeah, at Enter Square in Columbia, South Carolina.
Nope.
Not Columbia, South Carolina, Columbia, Tennessee. And so what we're doing here is we've got Mad Toy Box here in Matthews, North Carolina. And so had several conversations with Chris, came and checked out the space, love it. And it fits exactly what we need so we can keep putting out content for you guys. So Amy, how are you feeling about this move?
I'm excited. I'm sure we'll get into the story of how we moved and decided all of that throughout this episode, but it's been a year and a half that we'd been talking about it, and we moved a month ago finally. Yeah. So it's like kind of like, whew, we're finally here. We've been thinking about this for so long, talking about it for so long, and so we're finally back. And my entire family is here in Charlotte. Part of your extended family is here in Charlotte, so it's really nice to just finally, after I'd been away for 12 years, you've been away from living near any sort of family for
13, 14 years.
Yeah. So it just felt like the right time, and it just felt refreshing once we actually got here. We loved Nashville. We still love Nashville, but it just felt like it was the time to move back closer to family. And, it's hard to watch nieces and nephews grow up and you're not there, and family get-togethers and you're not able to make it. And
yeah, there's a lot that went into the decision to make this move back to Charlotte. Amy referenced it's been going on about a year and a half of conversations, and really we had talked about it, at different points along the way. And as you heard in previous episodes, our journey to Nashville was really led by the Lord, and just feeling like that's where we were called to. Mm-hmm. And so as we began talking about this, the real change in catalyst, the point that I know where my heart turned into just feeling like I was homesick and desiring to be back and close to family was in January of 2023, as Amy and I were driving back to Nashville after my grandfather's funeral, where we basically just cried for 7 hours. We just cried the whole way home, because it was in that moment that it felt like we were now leaving home to go back to Nashville for
where we lived and worked.
Just to be a place that we lived versus being our home. And with that, we wrestled. We wrestled a lot, because we had felt that the Lord called us to Nashville. And we wrestled through all the things that go along with making a decision to not be there anymore. And we really prayed and we sought the Lord about all of it, and we felt the peace that we were free to make the decision that we wanted, and that there wasn't a wrong one. Yeah. That we were going to be blessed either way that we went. But to be back in Charlotte and make the decision to come and be back with family. And it was a year of long conversations that we had until, we were driving back to Nashville from Charlotte again after Christmas of 23. And we kind of made the decision of, hey, I think it's time, once we get back to work, I'll let them know that this is what's on our heart. This is what we're wanting to do. And that it's going to be time to make a transition. And my work at Ramsey Solutions just blessed the socks off of me on my
Yeah,
way
they
out the
really
door.
did.
I had, we had a
Yeah.
4 or 5 month long runway of me handing off the work that I was doing to other people, training other people. And they just blessed us abundantly on our way out the door. And I have some really incredible friends there that I miss a lot.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, talk about an incredible group of people.
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
incredibly honored that we got to be a part of that.
Yeah. Incredible team. And so yeah,
they made it hard to leave Nashville.
They made it really hard to leave Nashville.
Our church. I mean,
yeah, one of my leaders, every time we would sit down, we would have a weekly one-on-one where we'd get together and we'd meet and we'd talk about what's going on in life and things like that. And, once everything was out on the table and we were talking about the transition and everything like that, he would start every single one-on-one with, "It's not too late. I can turn all this around right now."
Meaning after you already told them that you were leaving.
Yes. And once we got the ball rolling on my replacements and things like that.
You don't have to leave.
I can turn all this around right now.
Yeah.
So it was a great running joke, even though I know that it actually wasn't a joke.
It wasn't a joke. Yeah.
From their side. If they, if something had happened and that decision had been made to change and stay, they would have been elated and I would have had a spot and nothing would have been weird and it would have been crazy. But, yeah. So anyways, all of that to say, we finally ended up making the decision, middle of May, is when we actually made the move here to Charlotte. We landed with my grandmother for a bit. We just got our own place that we're getting, slowly moved into and settled into, that we're excited for. And then just working on getting some more clients and picking up work. I've got other random work right now that I'm doing just to be able to make sure that I'm making money. We can pay rent and all that stuff. And so I think that the decision to come here opens up a whole other side of conversations that has to do with just trusting the Lord in different areas and provision. Primarily for me right now, honestly, like the stress has been the provision of knowing like I got to work because I got to make money, and I'm trying to gain other clients, and I'm trying to do all of these other things.
Yeah.
And knowing full transparency, I had to go take a walk after a heated discussion with Amy the other day about finances. Not because she was doing anything wrong. I wasn't doing anything wrong. We had in this month that moving is always crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's all the deposits and utilities and stuff like that. There was a family vacation in the middle of it. And, we just ended up in this realization of we hadn't been as intentional as we needed to with some things. And I left to go take a walk to make sure that I didn't say anything rude or disrespectful or anything with Amy or put anything on her because blaming in heated discussions doesn't help anything. And I just went and took a lap and was talking to the Lord, and it was just my conversation with him was just the reminder of it is a blessing to be here. He has blessed us to be here. We are trusting him for every aspect. I don't have to do it all on my own. I've got a daddy upstairs that cares for me a lot. He cares for us. Yeah. And he's not going to leave us lacking. We're not going to be left out to dry.
Has.
And he never has.
He never has. And his track record's pretty great.
That was a key part of that conversation of him just reminding me of, you remember this time, you remember this time, you remember this time, you remember this time, of every other area where he has constantly provided and never left us hanging. And it's just...
You're going to make me cry because you haven't told me that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Making the choice to remember God's faithfulness and handing that stress and that worry to him is something that I am going through personally right now.
Yeah.
Because also a whole other, you want to talk about moving, changing jobs, getting a new place,
Going into business for yourself, by the way.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Trying to build a business, yeah.
What else could you possibly add on top of this to make it more stressful and exciting?
A baby?
Amy's pregnant. We're gonna have a baby.
Yeah.
And this,
so exciting. But found out, a month before we moved. So it was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
How's all this going to work? It's going to be fine, but whoa.
Yeah. So it's been just this whirlwind. We're so excited. Amy is just into her second trimester.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're hopefully past all the worst of the morning sickness.
Sickies. I was a little out of commission for a while.
But
oh gosh, yeah, I'm praying that part's over. We'll see.
We're so excited. It's incredible. I mean, you want to talk about a season of change and seeing just even more of the Lord's redemption in our lives and more just restoration of promises that, as a young man going through divorce. And I don't know if many people know, but I actually, in my first marriage, lost a child. And so Father's Day has always been kind of weird for me because it's like I was a dad, but I wasn't a dad. And it
was miscarriage, right?
Right. Yeah. And to clarify, lost a child to miscarriage, not because we had a kid and I lost the kid in the divorce. It was, And so there's always been kind of these weird mixed feelings about Father's Day. Not about Father's Day, but during Father's Day, because it's such a fun celebration. I love celebrating my dad. I love celebrating the dads that are other dads to me that I've just had throughout my life. And this Father's Day hit just a little different. On Father's Day, we got to tell my entire family all together at Disney.
Hence your shirt.
that we're having a little baby. We don't know what that little gummy bear is yet, a boy or girl, but
in a few more weeks.
We'll find out soon. And so stay tuned. We'll share some of that with you, but we're not, we like to be real and open and honest about what is going on in our lives. And we're also not going to put absolutely everything on the internet. So.
Oh, for sure. No.
But so everything has been just crazy change. We're excited to be here in Charlotte. And I mean, what's on your mind, babe? There's so much that's happened since we last recorded those episodes. I mean,
that was October.
October of last year was where we recorded the
second batch. Yeah.
Episodes that are just, finishing going out. The episode right before this one was in that batch. And so now we're caught up. We're almost putting out episodes in real time. Almost. And so
we did not do before. So
there's just been a lot that's changed. And so what are you thinking? What are you where are you at right now with all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this new season. I mean, like we already said, we'd been talking about moving here back to Charlotte area for about a year and a half. Starting January 23. I mean, I think it started for me a little before that, but for both of us, it really started in that January season. And, our timeline of when we thought we were going to be moving changed a few times. We thought it was, summer of 23. And they were like, no, okay, that's a little too soon. Okay, maybe like November, December, January, 23, early 24. Maybe that will be when we move. And then it ended up being May of, this year, 24. But which I think was the perfect timing for us with everything and just being able to finish out your job well and land here well. And I don't know, moving here while pregnant, early in pregnancy, but I wasn't expecting that. I mean, that was one reason that we decided we really wanted to move back. I mean, it was to be close to family, but we really wanted to start our own family, and we wanted to raise our kids around aunts, uncles, grandparents, their cousins and all of that, and to have family around us. And so I think it was just extra exciting to be like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be a reality a lot sooner than we thought it was going to be. I mean, we've been hoping for this for a baby for a while, but
Yeah.
the fact that, oh, well, we're moving and, well, there's a baby on the way. So all the things that we've been hoping would happen when we moved to Charlotte are starting to happen. And so it's really exciting. It's also really surreal. I've wanted to be a mom my whole life, but now that it's happening, I'm like, it's exciting and so strange. And, all the questions and thoughts that go through your mind, like, am I going to be a good parent? Am I going to do this right? Am I going to screw this kid up? But then it's like, no, it's okay. One day at a time, like just one day at a time. Got a lot of family that are going to help and coach us through it, and people that have been there too. So, I don't know. It's a wonderful season. It's, morning sickness is no joke. I mean, I know people who've been through way worse than I went through, but I don't know. Listen, that was rough. So moving here in the middle of that was not fun either. But my sister helped us drive down, so she was a godsend. That was amazing. Thanks, Stephanie. But yeah, I guess I'm just in this place of excitement and glad that we finally got our own place, because like you mentioned, we've been living with your grandma for about a month, which is amazing that she offered that while we were able to look for a place while I was sick, and you're trying to build a business, and we're looking for a house and all these things, and finally we're able to get a house, and now we're, like you said, working on moving in. So I'm really excited to finally get moved in, make it our own, and have a space. It's because we've been living with somebody for the past year as well. When we were in Nashville, the last year in Nashville, we were living with someone. And so that was a blessing in its own way. But, we're married, and it's like, we're ready to be in our own space again. So I'm like, and I don't know, I guess people call it like nesting or whatever when you're getting ready for a kiddo. And it's like, I'm just ready to be in my own space with my husband, prepare a space for the baby, and place that we can just be comfy and be, all that. So I don't know. It's a really good season. A lot of transition, a lot of change, a lot of unknowns, honestly, but all really good things, So that's where I'm at.
I am so excited to get to watch you become a mom and to parent with you and to raise kids together and all the things.
I'm excited to get to see you be a dad. I mean, you with kids is one of my favorite things to watch, because kids love you, which I'm grateful for. I love that kids love you. I mean, kids don't like everybody, so but you're great with kids. The whole time I've known you, you've been like, and I remember your mom told me one time that, how did she say it? She was like, he's been wanting to be a dad since he was like 18. He didn't need to be a dad at 18, but he's been wanting to be a dad since he was 18. I was like, okay. So he's like, can we just get on with it? Can we have kids, please? So I'm like, I know you are ready to be a dad. And I mean, you cried when I told you I was pregnant. Like, It was wonderful. Like, I loved that. I loved that you just let yourself be excited to the point of crying, and you were not ashamed about that. Like, It was really sweet. I think you're going to be an incredible dad. Thanks. I'm excited to see it.
Yo, actually, it was really funny how she told me that she was pregnant, because I'm laying in bed. I'm blind.
Well, it's like 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, I'm blind.
It's early.
And so I wear contacts, I wear glasses, and my contacts were out, glasses by the bed. I wake up and I just see this blurry figure standing over me. And she's like, look. I'm like, I can't see that. What? let me get my glasses. She goes, oh, and put something behind her back. I was like, what is she doing? Put my glasses on. And then she holds it out. And I just had no words. I just stared at it in shock and amazement. And then
because I didn't even tell you I thought I might be pregnant.
No.
For like a week. I was like, I think I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wait until this day to
yeah.
test it and see. So I didn't give you a hint. So because I wanted you to have that full on, wait, what?
Yeah. And it was just shock and wonder and excitement. And yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I just cried and thanked the Lord for the blessing. So
yeah.
But yeah. Well, guys, that is where we are now. We're in Charlotte. We're gonna keep putting out episodes. We're gonna keep, creating content for you. We're gonna get settled into our new house, prepare for a baby, continue building this business, continue working with other people here. What I'm really excited about with Charlotte is, Amy and I have talked about this, is that Charlotte and Nashville are both relatively big cities. But Nashville, it feels like there's this hustle and grind and this urgency to the city because so many people are there trying to make it. They're trying to get there, be something, be someone, that kind of thing. And you can get it's palpable. You can feel it.
Yeah, it's just in the atmosphere.
And Charlotte is more of an established, not that Nashville isn't established, but there's a different pace of life. Nashville, the primary industry, there's a lot of entertainment, a lot of music and all of that. And Charlotte has been more of a banking and corporate industry city for a long time. And so, that may speak to some of how things are, but the pace just feels different. Here, last night we went into, a small little downtown Matthews doing what was it? Beats and Bites? Is that what it was called?
Something like that. Yeah. It was like live music and food trucks just out in the park. And it was fun.
It was cool. It was very chill. It was nice. Lots of families there. And so we can just feel this shift and this change between the cities that we've lived in. And we're just excited for this new season and to be here and to continue in trusting the Lord in exactly all of the provision for what's coming with work, with family, and all of those things. And it feels like it's almost kind of like a resetting season right now. And it's good.
It's like a new chapter in a book.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. It's like, not that we left everything behind in Nashville or even when we were in the mountains of North Carolina, like not just leaving that stuff behind, like it doesn't matter anymore. It's just, nope, it's a new chapter. It's a new season. And all of that was good. And it was wonderful. And we loved it while we were in it. But it was just the tugging on the heart of, okay, it's okay to try something new. It's okay to go somewhere else. Or even moving back to Charlotte. I mean, I grew up here. You've been here off and on over your lifetime. But just to move back after so long for both of us, and it's like we're not just visiting anymore. Like we're here as adults, and the city's changed a lot since I was here last at 19 living here. There's a lot more wonderful things about the city now than there were even then. And so it's just fun to move back as adults and as a married couple and with a kiddo on the way and just be like, we're moving back, but we're not going backwards.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
Yeah. Well, do you want to do a card?
Oh, yeah. My mic was blocking those. I completely forgot about them. Do you want me to draw one or do you want to draw?
I'll go ahead and draw one.
You go for it.
I'll just go right here off the top. And this one is one of the and cards. This card says, "Why do you love me?"
Oh, that's sweet.
The way you said that is so convincing.
I feel like that could be.
I'm over here starting to tear up thinking about why I love you, and you're like, "That's sweet."
No, I was just thinking about that. Glad I wore waterproof mascara because my eyes are watering because I'm laughing. No, I was just thinking like. I don't know. It went through. You know how my brain works. I'm like, oh, the different ways you could ask this question. Like, why do you love me? Why do you love me?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Sorry. That was supposed to be a serious question. Leave it to me to. Oh, we have to redo my makeup after this. Anyway. Why do I love you? I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I think, well, you and I clicked as friends when we first met. Like we were buddies before we dated or anything like that, before we felt any romantic flutters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where loving you for me started, was you're my best friend. And, even when we were dating and engaged and then we got married, I mean, you stayed my best friend and you've always had my back. You're one of the most kind people. Like you're one of the most loyal and kind people I've ever met. Like if you're in somebody's corner, you are in their corner. And I don't know, the way that you love me and support me and honor me as your wife, sadly, you don't see that enough. And it's easy to love a man who treats you that way. So I don't say this lightly in any way, but you are easy to love because obviously everybody has bumps in the road, but the way that you love me makes it impossible to not love you back. A little sappy for a second, but...
That's my baby mama.
Because you're my best friend too. Okay, sorry. I've still got tears from laughing earlier. What about you? Why do you love me, baby?
I love you because you're one of the most steady and consistent women that I've ever known. With how you care for others, your love for the Lord, and to consistently, when I'm going off the rails, I feel like you point me back to the Lord and the Word consistently. And you're very steady. And you help me to slow down and settle into areas of life where I don't feel like I have to always consistently strive. And you help me to rest and be okay with being. And you're very loyal and forgiving. And you just love me really, really well. I love you.
I love you too, baby.
This was not a plant for this episode. That card caught me off guard.
Well, clearly it caught me off guard. So I took it 2 different ways.
But, yeah. Well, thank you everyone for coming back, for listening again, watching on YouTube. Be sure you can go find us, follow us on all social media, The Intentional Life Pod, and send in your questions. We may be getting away from answering just questions. We may start covering some additional topics, but we do love answering questions whenever you send them in. So make sure you hit the link in the show notes in the description. And in the meantime, have a great day. Pray for my wife. She's having a baby, y'all. This has been the Intentional Life Podcast.